So ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you. And I wanted to mention that this dialogue seeks to provide a platform for the stakeholders to discuss alternative policy options for fully reopening the economy and containment of the spread of COVID-19 across the country.
As most of you know, that in March, the economy was closed and a number of things have happened to our economy. Our economy has been ravaged, and so the economy is around the world.
Why was this happening? In my understanding, it was happening because we were fearing the unknown. We don't know what was going to come, what was taking place.
And sadly, this implies that about 3 million Ugandans may slip into poverty due to loss of income as a worst-case scenario.
Two critical points that we take note of. There's what we call real economy, and there's what we call vulnerable economy. So if you don't adjust yourself to real economy now, you may be the ones who will be victims of sticking to vulnerable economy.
So as we revive and reopen the economy, we need to be thinking differently. Let us focus on household incomes. Let's invest in agriculture, because majority of our people and they are living in agriculture. This is the time to even shelve transmission lines.
Making energy cheap, if possible, even free, to ensure that we address the point where we have cottage industries, small manufacturers closing without celebrating their second or third birthdays.
My recommendation, therefore, is one of the things we need to look out for is we need to ensure that we spend our money correctly. We spend our money to the productive sectors of the economy.
You are in a war, the president said. When you are in war, you don't pull out your suit to put on. You actually put off your shoes to run and throw them away. You buy others.
What has happened since the closure? One, the sector set up a committee, the task force, of which I'm a co-chair, and we drafted, and eventually the top management approved what we call the preparedness and response plan. And my appeal at this point is that all of us, since we are stakeholders, should work very hard to ensure that our children are learning.
My recommendation is let's have hope, let's encourage our business people, let's don't create unnecessary hopelessness. Even the consumers won't want to spend, because consumers spend based on their assessment of the future. If they think that things are so negative, they'll tend to stick with their own money.
So Uganda, we are already at a very good position to attract all kinds of industry. Now, if we are going to make it free or cheaper for Ugandans, for these small cottage industries, then this economy is unstoppable.
But for me, I'm very optimistic. Why? Because some countries are already in a recession. And for us, despite reducing from 8 to 7 to 6 to 5, we're on 2%. Now,
our GDP growth is projected to accelerate to 4.5% this financial year. This is respectable, given what's happening elsewhere. Much of the global economies are in a recession.
The last recommendation is that we must be grateful to God. And for sure, we must be grateful to God, who has given us life, who has given us the resources we have. Uganda will not suffer.
And it is my hope that the government or people in authority will be able to pick the ideas that will be generated here. Thank you very much for listening to me.